Okay, so we're looking at an example template page and we want to edit it. Now you might be working from scratch, you might be working from an existing template page that you've rolled over into your course. It doesn't really matter. Whenever you're making changes or you're editing a page on Canvas, you always start by clicking this edit button here in the top right hand corner. When you do that, it puts the content of your page into an editor. It's broadly recognisable, and you know it's an editor because it's got these familiar menus and this toolbar, and a lot of the options on this toolbar are familiar from programs like Word or PowerPoint and things like that. Now, when you start to work with your template, the first thing you'll notice is that you need to add text. So not all of these headings are complete. For example, I need to say here, I'll just say my test course, because you would be entering your module code and title. I could enter some text here. You might cut and paste from the module descriptor. You're certainly going to have something more interesting to say than me, but I'll just type in something very bland. And you'll find that you can make those kinds of simple text changes very easily. If you want to format your text, you can use these formatting tools here on the toolbar, or indeed there's more tools on the formatting menu. So that's up to you. In addition to that, you'll probably want to change the image. The image might not be appropriate for your module. How do you go about doing that? Well, the first thing to do is to click on the image and notice that here you've got this image options tab. If I click on that, it'll give me some information about the image here on the right hand side. And one of the things I can do is just note straight off that it's first of all slightly wider than it is tall. So good to know about the proportions, and also I can see that it's 357 pixels wide. I don't need to remember the width and the height, incidentally, the proportions are locked, but it's useful to have a rough idea as to how big the image is and to have a sense of what its proportions are, because if you replace this image with another that has a very different shape, or it's very much larger or smaller than the existing image, you're likely to throw the alignment of the rest of the elements in this template out of kilter. And we'll see that in a moment. So it's useful before you do anything with an image on any Canvas page just to make a mental note of its proportions and its rough size. So I'm going to then delete that image. Just click on it to select it, press delete on my keyboard. You can see it's gone. And I'm then going to go to my insert menu. Whenever you add something to a Canvas course, always go to the insert menu. Notice here I can add all sorts of things. I can add different types of media, documents, I can put in tables, horizontal lines, I can create hyperlinks. I'm mainly interested in an image here right now, and I've got three choices when it comes to uploading images. I can upload an image from my computer, I can add a course image, which means an image that I previously uploaded to this course, or I can upload a user image, which means an image that I've saved to my file area in Canvas. Now, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be uploading images into your course. That's the most straightforward option. It doesn't matter if you upload the same image twice, incidentally, it'll handle that okay. So I'm going to click on Upload Image. It gives me the option to drag images into this box, but I'm just going to click on that symbol instead, and I can then go and select my image from my pictures folder. Now I'm looking for something that's roughly the same dimensions as the original image. Remember, that slightly wider than it is tall. That group work image there, that looks okay, so I'll click on that. I'll click open, and notice here, before I do anything else, I can set some attributes. I can provide some alt text. That's useful for anyone who's visually impaired or who uses assistive technologies like screen readers. If it's a decorative image, you don't really need to type anything in there, just tick decorative image. But if the image means something, if it's important that people understand what that image is about, just type a brief description into this box here. I'll then click submit, and look, that image is very much larger than the one that was in the original template. And it's forced all my buttons down onto the next row. That's very ugly. How can I do something about that? Well, I just click on the image. Notice that image options tab pops up. I can go back to this panel and I can see straight away what the problem is. Look, it's 960 pixels wide. It was previously, 357, so I can just change the value in that box, click done, and there you go. You see, it's now been restored to something approximate to its original size. So I could then click update, and I can see the impact of the changes I've made. It's useful to update regularly. You don't want to lose stuff. If I wanted to make further changes, all I do is click on the edit button again. So I'll do that. I'd now like to add a link. I've got these dead links at the bottom of the page. They're just text. They're not leading anywhere. So I'm going to select the text, and I'm going to go back to my insert menu, and this time I'm going to select link. External or course links. What's the difference between those two things? Well, a course link is a page or a file or some resource in this course. Everything else, even if it's in Canvas, everything else is an external link. So the program homepage, that's a course. It's in Canvas, but it's a separate course, so it's an external link. So I'll click on that option, type my URL into there. So I could do something like this, and I could just click done, and it converts that text into a hyperlink, and you can see it's working there. Exactly the same principle applies to the buttons. You don't have to select text. You can add hyperlinks to images. These buttons are just images, so I could select one of those, come back to my insert menu, hover over link, and this time it's going to, well, first of all I'm going to remove the existing link. Sometimes you'll find that there are links on the templates. Remove them and then create a new link. So I'm going to create a course link this time. So my weekly resources section is inside this course. So I click on course links, and this panel opens up here on the right hand side, and you can see I can select everything in this course: pages, assignments, quizzes, announcements, discussion boards. It happens that all my course content, my weekly resources, they're kept here in the modules section. So I'll just open that up, select the first week, and update my syllabus. And you can see now that both of those changes have been made. That button is now working. That's taking me to my modules page. There we are, week 3. And that link at the bottom of the page to the program homepage, well, I won't click on it, but you can see it's ready to go.